Hey everyone, welcome back to Low Budget Logistics, your logistics and supply chain explainer. Today we're going to be talking about supply chain news because there's been three really big news updates that I want to address, at least get out to you today. I might start doing this as sort of a regular thing because there's a lot of things that happen that you might want to know about that if you're not really plugged into the types of weird geeky news that I am, you might miss out on. So without further ado, let's talk about the first news story is the monumental backup of cargo ships trying to cross the Panama Canal. Now, anyone who's has lived through the last 3 years knows and remembers two very important events. One, the backup at the port of LA and Long Beach, and two, the Ever Given getting caught in the Suez Canal. Both of those had impacts because cargo that needed to get offloaded could not be offloaded in the amount of time that it really sort of needed to be. So 200 vessels being sort of delayed going through the Panama Canal is a problem. The issue in Panama is that they're having a drought similar to us up here, at least in Texas, and they're not able to move water in and out of the lock system as efficiently as they need to, and so that's having some impact as far as allowing them to transport cargo ships and vessels through the canal, because the Panama Canal, kind of unlike the Suez Canal, is not really a same like flat, like you would think of like a river or a lake. One side is actually higher than the other, which is interesting. So if you're going across it, you're going to have to basically get moved by these like water elevators up and down, as you actually make the movement across the isthmus and the canal there. So not having enough water on hand to pump up and fill those tanks is a problem. So ships are having to wait in line. That line has apparently backed up to about 200 ships as of at least the filming of this video. It could be more. Unlike other times, this is not necessarily affecting everything because container ships have a much longer lead time and they actually book their transit in advance. They pay a lot more money, and so this country of Panama actually wants to get them through the canal zone as fast as possible so they can actually get that money. So container ships with your stuff on it for peak season is not necessarily as impacted. What this is really impacting are larger like bulk ships with industrial supplies or oil and gas freighters that typically have a lower or a shorter turnaround time from the time that they're loaded and actually need to transit. They don't have as long of a lead time and they're not paying as much as the big container boys. So that's news number one. Second thing in the news, number two, is UPS's contract. So a couple weeks ago, UPS signed a new contract agreement with the Teamsters Union. And one of the pieces of news that came out of it was that their drivers were going to be paid $170,000, $180,000 per year to drive. Now, that's a big number. And you should know that an owner-operator just driving a truck regularly might make that much money in a year if it's a good year. So kind of relatively speaking, that's not insane. What you should know, you should not quit your job to try and get into the Teamsters Union. And two, good luck with that. But you may not want to quit your job so soon because that's sort of an all-in number. That is inclusive of healthcare and benefits. So the real number kind of take, or at least like W-2 pay, would be about $102,000, which is still a good living, and it's a great job for those who can land it. But it may not be as lucrative as you might think. Third on the news this week, at least, is that Amazon is getting back into the logistics game. Now, you're saying, Matt, Amazon's always in logistics. And yes, they have, and that is true. And they're really the leader in a lot of supply chain innovation and logistics innovation. They've really pushed the world forward. So Amazon for a long time has always had their own, it's called Fulfilled by Amazon, where you send them your products. If you're a business owner, you can send them your items and they will fulfill them through their website and through their fulfillment centers. Now, what is different is that Amazon will now sell their specifically logistics services to other companies. So they're now competing with UPS and FedEx a lot more directly. So before, the only things that would get delivered on like an Amazon truck or at least through an Amazon contractor, would be Amazon specific purchases. So if you went onto Amazon and you bought, I don't know, cat food. I'm just thinking because my cat just walked by. If you bought cat food off of Amazon, that would go through an Amazon fulfillment center. It would go out on an Amazon truck and it would be delivered to your door all through Amazon itself. That is staying the same. What's changing is that now Amazon will send trucks to another warehouse to pick up those products to send and then do the delivery. So all they're getting money on is actually the delivery services itself. So this is a lot more akin to, like I said, UPS and FedEx. It will also wreak some havoc on the regional providers, as well as some of the other gig workers that exist in the parcel delivery space as well. So that's a major shakeup in the logistics world. It now makes them a lot more competitive, and it gives them a lot broader swath to understand at least where packages are, where they're going, and all of that sort of information that Amazon loves, that really, really big data. So those are the 3 logistics stories in the news, supply chain stories in the news that you should know about, at least be aware of. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please leave a like, subscribe. If you want to hear more of these types of things, by all means, let me know in the comments. If this becomes a thing, I'm happy to continue to report the news. Although you should know I am no journalist. I'm just a dude. Thanks so much, and I hope you have a great day.